Hello Facebook, this is Chuck Sharp, also known as Gomont, Grumpy Man on Tour. If you've been following me for a while, you may recall about 2 weeks ago I posted a note on Facebook entitled, "What Would Jesus Do? Border Mission Trip." I'm getting ready to leave, I think on Tuesday next week, so that should be just after Labor Day. All the plans are made, I know my route, everything I'm going to be taking there and back again. But before I go, I'd like to kind of give you a small update on what we've received so far by way of donations. By way of donations, we've got, I've received about, or via St. James, I've got, I think it's almost 3 boxes worth of donations of things like socks, toothbrushes, toothpaste, combs, what else? Soaps, lip balm, quite a bit of number of items like that we will be giving to one of the shelters when we get there. In addition, we received quite a lot of donations from our parishioners and others, so I want to thank you for that. Those donations are cash and checks, and in cash and checks we received close to $2,000, which is just phenomenal. And also our parish council, the vestry, has also given us $2,000, so combinations around $4,000. And the vast majority of that money will be going straight to either to the homeless shelter, or we'll buy supplies when we get there for the shelter. That includes some of the items I just mentioned and whatever else they need. So I want to thank you for that, for your support, both in prayers but also financially. All right, I think that's about it. Oh, what I would like to also do is to give you a little short tour around the van. Some of you may not have seen the inside of it or just seen some pictures, so I'll give you a few highlights of what I have in the van. This is a 2018 Winnebago Travato. It's a Class B van, and it's built on a Dodge ProMaster 3500. So up here on the front side here, this is the cab, and right now I've got the window coverings to keep the hot sun out. So you can see that the captain's chair swivel around, so you get nice comfy area that you can sit at and watch television at night, have meals. There is a nice dining table. This dining table also does make down into a second bed. Right over here, this is the fresh water tank. It holds about 35 gallons, more than enough fresh water for me. I can go on that almost 2 to 3 weeks. Back on the back here, this is the control panel, where control center. So this is where I've got my solar controller, my one place to check my tank levels, etc. There's a Trima heater right here. That's the Trima heater and Trima hot water heater. There's a propane on-off switch. This here is used for when I'm plugged into power. Actually, you can monitor how much power is coming in. The red switch is for the tank heaters in the winter, and I put a small thermostat with a humidifier so I can keep track of it. What the humidity is like. Do have some items that we've brought back from the actually they went from Connecticut to the Netherlands and back again. So I've got a cross here, and I think that's a picture of London Bridge. Do have a television here. Nice to be able to sit down at night and watch TV. Usually it's off my phone. I stream either Netflix or YouTube TV, Hulu, etc. I also download some Netflix movies, etc., things like that. There is a nice stereo here that I use to link up to my iPhone or iPad to stream some music. I do have some Christmas lights here that go all the way around the interior. These Christmas lights I use just to kind of give me some ambient night light, so I don't have to turn on all the lights in here. It gets kind of bright. So it gives a nice little ambient light when I'm in the van at night. Also, if I leave the van and go into like a Walmart or something and it's dark, I can come out, open the door, and there's a little bit of light in here. And it does run off AAA batteries. Right here is the galley on this side, and over on this side is the rest of the galley. That's where we've got things like refrigerator, storage area, microwave, and so on. But over here on the kitchen side, put the phone down, we've got a nice 2-burner propane stove. You can see under there. There's a nice sink. It's not real big, but you can do some dishes and things like that in the sink. I do keep it covered with these drying cloths for your kitchen because it protects it from, you know, anything falling down and breaking. I did purchase a battery and electric powered fan at Walmart to kind of help circulate the air when I get out to Arizona. Here's a nice picture that I bought in Mystic before we left on the 2017-2018 tour around the U.S. Just a little reminder of our home in Ledyard on Long Pond. Up here is where I have my dishes. So this is where I store my plates and let's see, I've got my tea kettle, I've got a small saucepan steamer, there's some coffee cups, some plastic wine glasses, and then there's some metal wine glasses that I also use for drinking Cokes, etc. I use that to kind of help keep things from shifting around when I'm driving. When you're driving in a van like this, things tend to move around a bit, so that kind of helps. Over here I do have a nice big refrigerator. This is what we really loved about this van. Got a nice big refrigerator. It's off right now. I'll turn it on probably on Sunday or Monday to cool down, but get quite a bit of fresh foods in there, so keep things nice and cool. There is a microwave. Hopefully nothing falls out on top of me. Nope, this time it doesn't. I've got, this is where I usually store my bread, my flour tortillas, my cereal, and some other things when I'm traveling. Kind of keeps things from flying around, and also just kind of help keep that glass plate from flying that's in the microwave. This is a normally this is like a closet where you can put your clothes in, but I've modified it to be a pantry. So I've got some foods here, coffee pots back there. You can't see it. It's the drip pot that you can drip your coffee in after I boil the water. Also, I've got I'm stocked up on some small meals for me to eat on the way there and on the way back. On that, we've got an extra fry pan, a collapsible pan, and things, and then down here I store my electronics when I'm traveling. Nice to keep them nice and safe so they don't get broken, and they're hidden away. I also did install this nice little light from IKEA, so at night I can light that up if need be. It's just a battery powered light. Back here, and this is the bedroom area, so this is where I store my clothes. There's not much in there right now. I'll put those away over the weekend, and I've got more over here, and there's more than enough for me to store. I could probably go almost a whole month without doing laundry, but probably not feasible. But I can get quite a bit of clothes up there on the top. There's my lovely little AC unit, which I guess will get worked out when it's in Arizona. This is the bed. It's a kind of like a Murphy style bed. It's a little bit bigger than a twin, but smaller than a full. Very comfortable. I did put a memory foam mattress topper on top of it. I just have a nice duvet cover that I also got from IKEA down below. The towel's there because I've had a little leak in the air conditioner when it rains, and I think I fixed it, but I leave it there just to make sure the bed doesn't get wet. So hopefully that's all fixed. Down below the bed is where I have quite a bit of storage, and this is what we really loved about this van, is that it goes from basically just past the refrigerator and the bathroom over there, which I'll show you in a moment, all the way to the back door. So you have quite a bit of storage. So you can see the two boxes right here. Those boxes contain the stuff that you guys have donated, so thank you very much. They're in those boxes, and there's another box, and there's a bag of duffel bag full of duffel bags for the shelter. Oh, I forgot to show you this under here. Underneath the sink, there's even more storage underneath the sink. So there you go. That's where I've got my trash can and a few other items. That's where I store my bear spray in case I run into any bears. There's a couple of drawers here for the I think right in here I've got, this is my silverware drawer, so I've got some silverware. Again, just put the tea towels on top so it keeps them down when we're traveling. Another drawer here has got some odd and end stuff. It usually has more kitchen utensils, but right now there's not very many kitchen utensils in there. Maybe move some later. At the bottom drawer, I just have my extra electronic gear is back there. So back here is the bathroom in this model. It is a wet bath, so there's a shower head. You can remove this flooring, and you got a little drain, but I don't use it for showers. I usually take showers at truck stops or at campgrounds when I'm there, or do, as my mom used to call it, the spit bath. So I've got a little bucket there I can fill up with some water and take a spit bath, but generally I like to take them at the truck stops. There is a toilet, as I mentioned, so that's nice, and I have my broom and my Swiffer in there to kind of so for cleanup and things. I think that rounds out the inside of the van. Let me take you outside and show you what the outside looks like. So this is the outside of the van. Again, it's a 2018 Winnebago Travato. It's the G model, in case anybody wants to look that up. It's the one with the Murphy bed and back. I've got some homemade sunscreens here made out of reflectix, and that really does help to keep the sun out. On the doors here, I've added some insulation below and above to kind of help with the heat and the cold. There was no insulation. I also added some to the back doors here. I do have a swing away bike rack. I'll be putting my bike on before I go and take that with me to Arizona. This is where the original Winnebago bike rack was here, but I've taken that off so that I can gain access to the inside while traveling. And it's just nicer to have the swing away, a little easier to get the bikes on and off. Okay, so this is the back of the van, so you can see the bed up there. I've got a screen that I can let down to keep the bugs out. I've got my hiking stuff here, my backpack with inside it is a Camelback water bag, 2 liters, so I can keep hydrated. I think there's some walking, hiking sticks. I can see a bug zapper. Yeah, those are those things back there. And then underneath here, I've got quite a bit of storage. As I mentioned earlier, it goes from just past the refrigerator all the way to the back doors. And first off, over here I've got some camp chairs. I've also got a picnic, small table in that red bag. This blue box contains all of the things I need when I'm camping. So that's like my electrical cables, water hoses, water gloves, things like that, or sanitary gloves, so that when I dump the tanks I don't get stuff all over me. Probably back there's also more biking equipment is probably under here as well. These wooden things are what I use for if I need to get level. I go to the old school of just using these pressure treated lumber to help me get level. So there you go. And I also put these little push button lights from IKEA under here. There you go. So if it's dark when I get to camp, I can push those and get some light back here. These drawers, I just put stuff I rarely need in those drawers, like manuals, etc. Underneath here, in this area, again, it goes from the back of the van almost all the way to the refrigerator. It's under the wheel well. That's where I have my tools and things like that if need be. Those are back there. And then around on, I do have a nice ladder that can come off, and I can attach it to the roof rack and then gain access to the roof of the van. So that's a nice addition. And over here we've got the, down here, those that don't know about RVs, that's where you dump your tanks at. And that other little pipe there, that's for the generator, the Onan generator, 2800. It'll run the air conditioner and all the inside, but rarely ever use that. These 2 vents here, that's for the propane refrigerator, keeps it cool. Along here I've got some an outlet for the Truma hot water heater and regular heater. I think I can see the electrical input, so if I want to plug in, it goes there. I think there's a cable above it for cable TV. Rarely I don't think we've ever used that one. And then these two plugs right here in the center, that's for the freshwater inlet. One fills the tank and the other one is if I just want to plug in when I'm at a campground, it'll give me water pressure. You might notice these windows look pretty dark. That's because I actually have them covered for the heat right now. Keep the heat out, but it's not too bad in Connecticut right now. Did mention that it's got solar. I'll walk you around here and you might be able to get a better look at it. So I'll lift up the camera. Let's see. Winnebago delivered this van with, I think it was 100 watts of solar on the roof. We added a second